Let's make perfect pita breads. Today we're going to make our own pita breads, and before we get started, make sure you have a digital scale. This is really helpful for any baking that you may do, and it'll make everything more accurate. So get your scale and your bowl and zero out your scale. Then you're going to add in 320 milliliters of warm water. Zero it out. And then 7 grams of yeast. All right, zero out the 7. And then 15 grams of sugar. All right, so we're just going to mix this up really well. We're going to let this sit for a few minutes until it gets nice and bubbly. When this is bubbly, you'll know that the yeast has been activated. All right, look at that. It's nice and foamy. So we're going to start adding in our flour. I'm using all-purpose flour. That's totally fine for this recipe. And you're going to add in 500 grams. And you're going to mix your dough until a shaggy dough starts to form. 500. So once it starts coming together, you can turn this out on a work surface and just start kneading by hand. So the goal is to make sure the dough is no longer sticky, but it has some tap to it, so it's not completely dry. So to get a perfect dough ball, just start shaping it with your hands like this. Then take your pinky finger like this and just wrap it around and pull forward. Perfect dough ball. And then you're going to just let this proof in an oiled bowl, and I'm using a neutral oil, avocado oil, but you can use any neutral oil you want to use. After your dough is proofed, punch it down to degas it, and then using a bench scraper, scrape it out of the bowl and add it to a well-floured work surface. Then cut your dough into 8 even pieces. Then you're going to roll out your dough with the rolling pin, and don't do what I did. I ended up rolling these out way too flat, so they didn't puff out as nicely. So only roll out so that they're 6 inches in diameter. And then you're going to cover these and let them proof again for another 20 minutes. Then to a hot skillet, place down one of your rolled out doughs, and you're gonna cook on each side for 30 seconds, and you're gonna rotate probably about 3 or 4 times, and you'll notice each time they'll start puffing up. All right, so out of 8 pitas, about 2.5 came out perfect. The rest, a little too flat, but I'll show you. So just cut it open. I think I got a perfect pocket. Yep, perfect pita pocket. Out of the 8 pitas, only 2.5 came out perfect. And to make sure you get perfect pitas, make sure you don't roll them out too flat. I think that's what happened with the others. They were too flat, so they weren't able to puff up as much. But these two, I was able to get a perfect pocket. I'll cut that up. And yep, perfect pocket. So with the others that didn't come out that great, I will just turn them into pita chips.